gun, first assault rifle, and then a variation of heals to fill the remainder of the slots. This combo, however, doesn't cover everything, but that's why you have a fragger on your team as well.
The fragger is responsible for getting crucial tags and eliminations throughout your game. Now, the loadout of the fragger is all about fighting and ending fights quickly. This is why we often see that the burst assault rifle is swapped out for the combat SMG. Meaning that in this role, you'll hold two weapons designed exclusively for close range engagements, while the rest of the slots are dedicated to heals. The fragger loadout often includes the striker pump shotgun, the combat SMG, and then a variation of heals. The ability to clean up fights quickly and effectively leads to this loadout being a top pick among the more aggressive players.
After hearing the different loadouts and roles, which ones are you choosing in your next game? Until next time, we'll see you on the battle bus. Beep beep.
Hello, I don't know why I'm doing this. I've never done this before.
Thousands of duos started out to claim the axe of champions. Only 50 now remain.
Party.
Malabuka and Murstache punched their tickets early, finishing top of the leaderboard in Qualifier 1 in dominant fashion. Last season, they struggled coming out of Camp Cuddle. Will the loot and positional advantage of Command Cavern give them enough of an edge? We'll also be joined by the dominant duo Andy Lex and X with more finals appearances than any other EU duo.
Looking to be crowned champion. This is finals. This is the FNCS.
Let's go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the finals of the FNCS. This is the European region. Over the last several weeks, we've watched teams rise, teams fall. But now we sit here with the 50 very best in EU. And they're all going to go head-to-head. Who will be crowned champion of it at the end of it all? Man, that's what we're here to find out. But I need a little help. I need my friends. We need the analysts. We got Resub. We got Mini Miner. They're going to be hanging out with us as we break down all of the action. Oh, man, you got to love these two. Guys, we did it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, we'll do it too.
Oh,
that wasn't planned either.
No.
We never planned those.
Never. We never plan anything.
True.
What's going on, everybody? Are you guys excited? Finals, we've made it here.
Yeah, I'm
excited.
excited.
It's so exciting. It feels like a holiday. It feels like the absolute moment where we've all been waiting for. You know, we've been building up to it. Semi-finals, qualifiers, all the way back a few weeks ago. We've had weeks and weeks to build up for it. I'm personally so excited. 2 days of finals as well.
I mean, it's the best time of any Fortnite season right now. The finals, where all of the prize money comes. So all the storylines we've been talking about for weeks and weeks have all built up to here, and obviously today and tomorrow. So these are going to be some good games.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a sneak peek of that last week, right? Semi-finals was absolutely insane, and now we're going to watch another 2 days of that peak Fortnite action, which we'd love to see. Now, we're going to go ahead and start the show, but first off, Legends Landing, if you guys are watching from there, what's going on, Legends Landing? We'd love to hang out with y'all. Love to see you. Thanks for letting us hang out. We really appreciate it. Legends Landing, go check it out in Fortnite right now. I'm going to go this way. Let's talk about the broadcast schedule. So, if you like what you're seeing, you're like, man, Zeke, this is really cool. I want to watch more Fortnite next season. Of course, come back. This is kind of our format right here. We started off with a few qualifiers. We go into semifinals. We have 3 days of semifinals. Find the 50 best duos in a region, and then we find ourselves right here, finals. But How did we actually get here? Reese, talk to me.
No.
We've had qualifiers, we've had semi-finals, and it has all led to this. The finals, this is where all of the prize money is. If you notice, we've got 2 days here. Day 1, day number 2. If you notice, we're on pure play and then match points. What that actually means is that on the second day, if a team, it's unlikely, but if a team gets to 475 points with 3 victory rounds, they'll actually end the tournament early. So there's a match point in place here. It's not likely. Let's be real at this point, but it'll add some excitement if it does happen.
Of course, but to get to that, you have to get the points. Now, we've talked about this points format quite a lot, but of course, the Victory Royale getting you 32 points, and of course, those cascading placement points starting at that top 25. You're getting 1 point for every single placement, moving all the way up into 3rd place as well. And of course, each elimination being worth 3 points. So lots of points up for grabs for these teams today, but you might be wondering, what are all these teams playing for? Z's got the answers.
Hey, I got you guys covered. Let's talk about the prize pool. Now, do keep in mind, Fortnite is a global competition. We have 7 regions going head-to-head for their cut of their respective prize pool. But you're probably asking yourself, Zeke, well, what about first place? What do people get for making it this far? I've got you guys covered. Don't even worry about it. Take a look. $300,000 for the duo that walks away in the number 1 spot. But, as I'm going to say across the 2 days, think about this, okay? If a duo, your favorite duo, can jump up from, say, last place into that top 10, huge amount of prize money there. So make sure you guys are rooting for your favorite duo all the way to the very end. And I got to tell you, we've been teasing it on social media. What are these guys fighting for? It's the new Axe of Champions. You guys gotta check this out. Look at it in its filmy beauty.
That is beautiful. That's the first time we're going to see it now.
It actually is. It's so clean.
So clean. That's like
chromatic, we've got prismatic, we've got fantastic. It's cleaner than Shire Wager's shoe collection somehow.
Ooh, and sunglasses.
And sunglasses. There's many of those.
Yeah, they're good though. But something else we want to look at, of course, the qualified players. There's the 50 duos that will qualify here, the top 100 players. There's, I mean, EU's best names are all stacked up here. Could you point top left?
I can
right
indeed.
there. Thank you. Teamwork. Murstache and Malabuka. A team that we've been talking about, the community's been talking about for now seasons and seasons ahead. They are, I don't want to say unstoppable because that's, I don't want to put a curse on them like that, but look at this. This right here is really important. 3 victory rounds. This is from their qualifier number 1. And guess what? 3 games out of 3, they only got off spawn. So they won 100% of games they got off spawn.
These guys are scary when it gets to endgame. These guys are not a duo. Mustache and Malabuka, they're not a duo that you want to be coming up against in endgame. The way they use free edits, the way they bounce off each other, they're just sort of gliding through the endgame. Honestly, one of my favorite duos
I don't know what's going on, bro.
But they might have a few troubles off spawn today, Reese.
Yeah, they may have a few troubles off spawn. Like we said, they're contested by Pink and Anas, who right now it seems like they are kind of winning up against, right? It seems like I saw our boy Boop post a couple stats earlier. It seemed like they're winning a little bit more than Pink and Anas off spawn. But again, it's relatively even.
Yeah, another duo that I want to be talking about, though, is, of course, Seti and Cammy. Now, it's a duo that a lot of people would definitely put in contention for coming out on top today.
Ooh.
And they're one of those sort of duos that play a little bit of a different strategy. They play low ground, they play a little bit slower right up until the end game, and they're picking up eliminations and refreshes where it matters most. This is another duo to look out for today.
It is, and I kind of stood behind Seti playing a solo cash cup, right? And you think that's relatively insignificant to this. But to watch him physically from behind his screen it's something else. You understand that this guy is different. He's a special. He is a talent.
Player.
And Cammy is exactly the same. These guys are so balanced in everything. They deal pretty much the exact same damage. They take pretty much the exact same damage. And if one of the things you notice is their positioning, right? They're so close to each other at all times in endgame. And that's just one of the reasons why they're such a good duo.
Yeah, we saw some insane solo clutch from Cat and Seti in particular. And of course, last season they didn't have too great of a time, but they've come together this season. The old boy is popping off, and hopefully they can do it today.
Absolutely. We're going to go to our next 50 teams we've got here. One of the ones I want to point out is Tayson and Chapix. Now, Tayson and Chapix, 2 of EU's biggest names. If you think Tayson and is not going to perform in an FNCS finals, you're missing out here. Let me just list some of the placements he has. 4 times FNCS champion on EU, the most of any region. 2/3, 2/5, and 8. This guy has been in the top 10 of an FNCS finals 9 times.
Wow, well done.
That is honestly
well done to that person.
And of course, Chapix, so 2 times have been as well.
He's pretty good too, yeah, of course. He's decent. But no, like you talk about this duo, I think this is the most experienced duo. This is the most experienced duo in the lobby. I think they have the most FNCS wins out of every other team, and they have that experience. They have that sort of the ability to pop off when it matters most. You know, they turn up on the big days, and their fighting ability is second to none. They know exactly what they're doing in the mid game, the early game segment as well. Seriously. Of course, they're landing at the Collider, so they might have some easy off-spawn surge, which we'll talk about a little bit later. later on. Another duo that I do want to talk about is, of course, Reason and Disiptos. Now, we saw them popping off in qualifier number 3. They only had semi-final number 3. They only had semi-final number 3 to make it to today, the finals, and oh boy, did they do it.
Yeah, they obviously managed to qualify through. Fantastic. I think they were one of the best raw skill teams in that kind of lobby at the time. And these guys I'm very excited about because they've kind of been just getting better as the season's gone on, and they've shown a ton of potential. 2 second places in the duo cash cups. Obviously, they did well in that semi-finals as well. But one of the most important things is Reason himself has said, I'm not usually on the same page as Disiptos.
Sweaty.
The stats back that up. Disiptos places
this
twice the amount of
tournament
builds
is
in
below
endgame and does
the money.
40% more damage. So I'm not trying to say Disiptos is carrying here, but I hope these guys are on the same wavelength now.
Yeah, Disiptos is an absolutely incredible talent. They both are very, very talented individually. I mean, Disiptos just recently won the most recent solo cash cup, so there's definitely talent there, and if they can bring it together today, that is where it matters most. But I'm going to throw you guys back over to Zeke, who has another content piece for us.
Thank you guys so much. It's fantastic as always. As these guys just mentioned, Tayson, one of the most winningest players of all Fortnite history, widely regarded as the GOAT. Well, guess what? 11-2K got to sit down and pick his brain on all things Fortnite. So check this out. This is In the Lobby with Tayson.
In the lobby with Tayson.
What's up, everyone? My name is 11-2K, and I am joined in the lobby by the one and
I've
only
heard of him.
Tayson, the greatest Fortnite player of all time. When you hear all the people in the scene sort of call you the GOAT, how does that make you feel, bro?
It just feels me special. I never thought I would be in this position,
You're very
it's just amazing.
It felt like you came out of nowhere, right? And you were just sort of this absolute top level player. Is there like a tournament you remember, or just any sort of moment where you realize, like, I'm the best player?
The solo FNCS win when I got 12 kill win. I think that game was just amazing. Just felt like I was better than everyone.
Understandable. Like, is there maybe like a secret you have? You know, something that you can maybe give some people some advice on how you do it.
What's your advice?
I just did a lot of practice and
a lot
I got a game plan that basically works in solos. And I just play by that plan. It usually goes well.
Do you find it hard to stay at the top?
Every season is basically getting harder now, like the skill gap is increasing. It's getting harder and harder every season, basically.
Do you really look forward to LANs coming back?
More sweat.
That's the biggest question mark around you. People say, look, Tayson's done it all online.
More everything.
But when the LANs come, will he still be the best player?
Every season.
As long as I'm like comfortable with my setup, I think I can play well.
Yeah, so
it's not about the audience or anything. I think it's just about the setup, basically.
Yeah, just
how I sit.
Just you being comfortable.
Yeah.
This season, I'll be predicting you to take it all home, as I almost always do. Can I count on you to win it all this season?
I think there's like a lot of players that have a chance of winning. If I put my time in, it can happen again, yeah.
It's the FNCS final, the final game. What do you want in your inventory?
Gold Striker, Mythic Burst, 6 mini shields, 6 splashes, 3 bigs, and a lot of launch pads.
Oh, yeah,
launch pads are the
say an SMG there. I'm surprised.
Legend.
So strong this season.
The Mythic Burst just makes up for it, I think.
Look, Tayson, it's been a pleasure having you, getting to talk to literally the greatest player.
Tayson.
I'm shaking right now, the greatest player
Great
of all time.
guy.
Thank you very much for joining me. Where can the players find you?
So you can find me on Twitter, TaysonFN, and TaysonFN, all the socials.
Go on Twitter and follow Tayson, everyone.
In the lobby. See you guys all soon.
We'll be watching Tayson compete today, and of course over tomorrow as well. So a lot to look forward to. But why don't we turn our attention back to some of the... You guys got to talk about the duos. Let's talk about the actual POIs and our expectations for them. We've changed this segment up just a little bit. Let's start off with Command Cavern. What do we got to know?
I mean, Command Cavern, the best POI on the map, hands down right now. But not only that, look at the teams it's attracting, right?
True.
You've got Malibu,
I guess it is one of them.
On this kind of west side, Pink and Anas.
I don't know if it's my favourite.
Raging as well.
But
those two teams up top, Pink and Anas, are going to be going against Aqua.
So it's like the Grotto. It's quite a cool place.
We've seen this going back and forth, right?
Yeah, we have.
So you like go on the it looks just like the Grotto, like loads of water.
We've seen teams taking fights right down on that south side by the slurp truck, called the slurp truck not being there anymore. But we've seen the fights develop, and we've seen sort of moments where teams don't fight initially straight away. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops throughout the rest of this finals as well. We have 12 games of action. I'm sure teams will vary that based on how well they're doing.
For a ride.
Yeah, we're almost definitely going to see that fight up at the top in the majority of the games, but down below is what's interesting. You're going to have 3 different teams. Are they going to fight? Are they not? Are they going to actually end up engaging? It's kind of difficult to say at this point because we've seen so many different things throughout the seasons gone by. But
you know what they should have done?
Right here. I want to actually take a time to look at Greasy Grove. We're going to come back to Command Cavern.
The end of Chapter 2, they should have done the best of the
Greasy
chapter.
Grove, the team that's landing there right now, Scram
all
and
the winners
Hellfire,
of
who put on a
each
show in
season of
qualifier
Chapter
number
2
3.
all
But
fight
one of the things
each
that they do
other.
really well in
That
particular is when we
amazing.
see a north zone coming up, right? So a lot of teams right now are struggling when they have this max distance rotate to make. But them being in Greasy Grove, they know something that the other teams don't, and that is the next zone, because they in there can, for 135 gold, reveal the next zone. So at this moment here, if you're in the Joneses, if you're in Condo, all you can see is the first zone. However, if you're the Greasy Grove team, you get to see that second. So what they end up doing with that is using a Whiplash, the car that's in Greasy Grove, one of 3 cars on the map, so very small amount, to get there very, very early. They're going to go to the very center of that zone.
I'm going to mute myself for a bit
to
now.
get those next zones as well, right? So
But,
if you see Scram and Hellfire in a good position early, you can probably guess where that next zone's going to be, because they already know it. We might not.
I don't know. I just didn't know what to do.
But on
so
top
I
of that,
just
there's a
did
very
this.
similar strat coming out of Command Cavern, out of Aqua and Vino that we've mentioned so far too. So they rotate from Command Cavern down to Greasy Grove at the same time. However, they do this one zone later. So this is the second zone that's revealed, and what they will do is, because they're doing this later, tank a little bit of zone damage and reveal the third zone instead. And they'll do the exact same thing. They'll try to get like a center position on this. You can see the place that they'll end up eventually rotating to will be really close to give you visibility, right? So they ended up sitting on the side of this hill, and they've got great visibility of all these teams down on the south side near the water, because, I mean, if you've ever tried to swim through the water on like a late rotate, you know it's really, really tough to do at that point. However, one of the biggest issues with this, we're talking about cars. Aqua and Vino's managed to do this with the car previously, the IO cars that were in the qualifiers, but that's no longer here.
They don't have the vehicles anymore. They don't have the cars to make that rotate so much easier. They're going to have to use their legs. Such an old-fashioned way of rotating. Oh, it's going to be so bad for them. But another team that has sort of struggled and maybe developed their strategies through the removal of cars is, of course, Hen and Queasy. Now, of course, the reigning FNCS champions, Reese. I'm excited to see how well they do today, but I'm sure it won't come with any, you know, they will come with some problems, but I'm sure they'll be able to overcome them.
Yeah, I mean, we saw these guys be really good in majority of tournaments. You know, it doesn't matter if they had cars or not. They were close to the top 10, if not winning at the same time. However, realistically, this week, we saw them kind of fumble a little bit in the Cash Cup. I do see Queasy say he wasn't feeling too good. He's feeling a little bit ill at that time. So I hope he's feeling better today. Fingers crossed. Maybe he's just making excuses. You know, you never know. But I think we're going to see a good performance from them regardless.
Yeah, what I find interesting about this duo is, of course, they're landing at the north side of Sleepy Sound. Now, when you talk about duos that are reigning FNCS champions, top teams, you wouldn't associate them with a drop spot like this. I mean, the loot is not incredible. You have 8 buildings there, maybe 1 to 2 chests per building. Is it really going to be winning loot for them? And particularly when you combine them with sort of the south zones, is it going to be enough?
I mean, it's enough because they get it to themselves, right? You know, if someone else was fighting for this, not a chance. Not a chance.
Definitely not. But something that I really want to highlight about Hen and Queasy is, of course, the South Zone rotate. Now, of course, we know they're landing right at the top of the map right there. We can see it right up at the top. It is the North Sleepy Sound. We talked about it so much. They've landed here for so long, and they know how to loot it very well. But a problem that they've been having this season so far is this. If I was Queasy right now, I'd be terrified of this zone, because I'm shaking almost just looking at it. It's a terrifying zone for the teams at North Sleepy. Now, I want to talk about how their sort of rotation has developed through the change in the vehicles. Of course, we had the vehicles and then we did it, but pre-vehicle nerf, we're seeing a lot of free vehicle removal. We're seeing them use the vehicles really, really effectively. They're rotating all the way up to the north side of the map, taking a fight, and then rotating all the way down back into zone. And they can do that a lot later than they can do now. So we can see the rotate that they take. They get one of the Whiplash vehicles. They're going up to the top. They take the fight for Storm Surge, and then they make their way into the zone a lot later on than they can do now. And that is the difference in today's and their current play style, because they're not able to do that. They don't have the vehicles anymore to be able to have that flexibility. They almost had free reign over the north side of the map. This time, though, what they're trying to do, they're trying to rotate on foot. They're going 1 minute earlier, and they're rotating towards the east side of the map, where they're taking fights. Potentially, we could see it against Refsguard and Clown, or potentially Kovacs' Rocks at the north side of the map. Maybe if that doesn't work out, they go to the Daily Bugle, or another option, rotating to Coney Crossroads, getting ahead of all these teams, and then looking back for the surge. And this is the path that they're going to be taking for that. They're going to be rotating all the way around, looking into the Daily Bugle, because we know the Daily Bugle fights, they can take a little bit longer. They look for that surge, they get it, hopefully for them, and then they rotate right into the center of zone, where they can have that more, you know, maybe less congested side of zone,